Bristol here from ThirstGym.com, and today we're talking about an exercise called the short-seated battle rope slams. All right, for this exercise, what you're going to need are some battle ropes hooked to like an anchor underneath a weight, long as the end is anchored. And then you are going to want a plyometric box or some kind of box or chair, something you can sit on. I like adjustable ones because it's going to depend upon each person. But our short-seated position, ideally, is going to be where our hips are below our knees. We're going to keep our feet relatively together. I'll show you an ideal position here where my feet are actually together, my knees are in a straight line, notice my hip is below my knee, and then depending upon how much range of motion I have, I've got a lot, I can actually have the box lower. I could use like a DC block or a couple 45-pound plates. B, I got achy, aggravated hips. This alone I already feel in my left hip, so I go with a more parallel box, but it's still the same exercise, so the short-seated position adjusts to the individual and your range of motion needs. Then what we're going to do is take the battle ropes here. I'm going to scoot forward just a little bit so that I can show you this because I'm a little too far away at the moment because I was planning on doing it at the higher one. And from this position, I'm going to have the battle ropes around the sides of my legs. I'm going to scoot forward just a little bit more here. And then from here, I want to make sure that I'm actually trying to push my pelvis underneath me, so I roll my pelvis back, my knees are shooting forward, and then I'm going to perform my battle rope slams here from this position. And the reason I like this position is because by holding that and trying to slam these battle ropes, I'm having to do a leg curl with my feet, so I'm actually kind of shooting my knees forward as I'm doing that slam, and then that's posteriorly tilting my pelvis, and then that's getting my low back to relax, feeling some abs, feel some hamstrings, and that actually makes my hip feel better than when I'm not doing it. So I'm actually pulling my pelvis underneath me, improving hip mobility while I do that. Now, the exercise obviously is going to give you quite a bit of upper body work as well from the shoulders. So this battle rope here is pretty heavy, so me doing that, that's actually pretty challenging, right? I'm not getting a ton of waves or anything. But if you got some of the lighter ones, you could definitely go faster. But the goal here from a conditioning standpoint is to get our hips underneath us while we're doing something that's primarily just upper body, right? So we're getting some good upper body conditioning work out of it. Get to breathe in a little bit. It's not going to make you sore. And overall, it's just a great way to modify the battle rope slam to kind of get a little bit more out of it if you wish. So again, this is an exercise I like to use with clients and athletes that are stuck in an anterior pelvic tilt. Get them out of that, still get them some kind of conditioning, get their shoulders working. It's nothing like fancy or anything crazy in terms of the results, but it does make it hyper-specific towards you. So if you got really bad anterior pelvic tilt and you find that when you're doing battle ropes, you're arching through your back a lot of times when you're using them, this can really help you anchor that down, make it a little bit harder, make it a lot more just upper body versus full body, and get the same training benefits out of it. So for me, with the conditioning side, I like to make sure I'm doing this about for 10 to 20 seconds because it is so upper body demanding. And I like to use an interval-based work, so where we're doing that 10 or 20 seconds of work and 10 or 20 seconds for the rest, and going back and forth for a certain amount of sets or time, and that generally checks a lot of boxes for me. You could certainly, if you've got a under-trained person, you could program these for reps and try to build the reps up over time, and then you could then transition into a time-based system because, I got super heavy ropes here, so some of my clients, especially the ladies, may not be strong enough to be able to lift a 40-pound rope consistently over and over again, so we have some other rocks to turn over there, but you get the idea. So that's all I've got. If you got any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks. Have a great day.